Hello and welcome to another video of mine. Today I will feature three videos or three replays featuring the three Tier 4 British premium Spitfires, and they fly actually quite similar to all the high tier Spitfires. This what you can see right now is the British Spitfire Mark LF9, and we're flying against the Germans on Ruhr, and I was climbing, and we had actually no American plane in our team, so it was pure British against pure Germans. And as you can see, I attacked a Focke-Wulf D series. It was the D9, and he was turning, and so I let him go. There's actually nowhere he can go, but let's talk a little bit about the Spitfires itself and my opinion about them. Well, they have a lot of drawbacks. They have wing-mounted guns, and overall they have low ammunition, especially the early ones. The roll rate is not too good, especially at high speeds. Negative Gs are not nice for them. The wings rip at high speeds and at high Gs, but the advantages are also very good. They have a very good maneuverability, or elevator authority. They have a very good climb rate. There is a reason why a lot of them do have the name Spacefire, and I'm just playing with this guy. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, and about the advantages, that's basically it. So they have a high climb rate, and they have also a good maneuverability. And watch how I play with those two guys. They have no chance. I have flown German aircraft myself so much, I know they can't do anything. I'm just playing. This is not taking it serious. Am I a very good pilot? Of course not. I just have a little bit of knowledge. I have experience in German aircraft. I try to use the basic rules of combat, climbing, sticking together, teamwork. Although, the Spitfire is, it can work as a solo fighter as well. And here I'm looking around. Where should I go? Yeah, let's turn fight the Me-410 a little bit more. And yeah, he has no chance. Yeah. I mean, he tried his best, but it's a heavy fighter. What can he do? And yeah, don't watch my aim. It's horrible. But single hits are enough to kill everything in the game with those Hispanos. Doesn't seem so bad, But the advantages of the Spitfire are not just the plane itself, but the matter of the game. And especially in realistic battles, your opponents, especially American teams, but also German teams, have huge drawbacks as their main fighter planes, especially at Tier 3 and Tier 4, namely the Bf-109s, the Focke-Wulfs, and the P-51s. They really, you don't fight them on the same skill level or the difficult level, so to say. That's my opinion. You can outclimb them, and then you can outturn them. You have all your advantages. So the question is, what are the other advantages? Now, I tried to avoid it a little bit. It's actually that those aircraft, especially as I said, the Focke-Wulfs, the Bf-109s, and also the P-51s, in my opinion, have a bad translation from your original control input to, rudder and elevator reactions or response, so to say. Spitfires don't have this problem. Alongside with the Yak-9s or all Russian aircraft, they feel like when I made the transition, I said it again, when I went from arcade to realistic, I was really shocked how many problems I had with German aircraft. And, you know, yes, I didn't know the maps, I didn't know the flow of the battle, I didn't know the teams and team play. I wasn't that experienced or whatever, but it was also the handling of the aircraft, you know, and the energy retention. But then I played, you know, British fighters, and it was like I was back in arcade again. The planes did what I wanted them to do, you know, and they do exactly what you want them to do, you know. As I said, you know, they have low ammunition counts, but it doesn't matter because you don't need to fire a lot. This is the third kill. I have a lot of ammunition left, and also the 7.7s, you know. At this moment I am doing some ground striking, you know, because I see the last player is far away, and yeah, now no, at this moment, you know, I killed the last player, I guess. And it is so easy, you know. Look at how this plane turns around, how it executes my commands, so to say. It does exactly what I want this plane to do, and it has nothing to do with the overall maneuverability. Try to go head on with a German aircraft is a bad idea. Just roll out of the way. He has a very damn hard time to even get guns on you, you know. And when he tries to, you know, zoom through, you just turn around, you barely lose any speed, and you still can follow him. And what does a German aircraft have when you avoid head-ons, and when you're above him or you follow him, and you know you have also the advantage in outturning him? What does he have left? Not much, except other team members. And so the message is, when you have just only purely British teams, you know, just consisting of British teams or British pilots, you have a very easy time against any nation, even Russians. And if you don't screw it up, also against the Japanese. This is the second battle on Norway in the Spitfire FR MK14E, you know, it's the clipped wing version. This should have much less maneuverability, and in this match I did not too good, you know. I actually died and we lost the match, but there is a reason why I showed this to you. Look at the climb rate, and you know, for every German pilot that has no British aircraft himself but fights British aircraft, this is the reason why they are called Spitfires. Look at this. And there is one thing more. This is the first supercharger gear. At 5,000 meters and still climbing. A few minutes into the game, you know. Yes, on Norway we have the problem of the you know, AI planes, which are relatively low. On Sicily they are much higher and force those who want to kill them to climb. At this moment I was thinking about diving after those planes that attacked the landing crafts, because it is actually pretty important to protect them, but I was one of the highest players, if not the highest player, so it would have been just dumb. But nobody else takes care of that, or players don't care, despite those would be easy and also important kills, you know. Because if the Germans lose that airfield, suddenly the Norway isn't biased towards the Germans anymore. It then gets biased towards the Allied team. And here again we have just a few American bombers, and I'm easily above them. you know. At this point, I just have one problem, that German players need to deal with high altitude Spitfires all the time, so they are mostly grouped together. And so the first tip, just try to work yourself from the top to the bottom, because you have such an impressive climb rate, such a good energy retention, such a good maneuverability, even in this clipped wing version, you know. And look at the flight model or the response. It's so easy. At this moment I'm showing off. I have no wobbling. The plane is directly, more or less, following, you know, the mouse cursor. This is like in arcade. This is, I say it right now, it's disgustingly easy. And at this point I was like, I was shaking my head in pure disbelief. Yes, I've flown this aircraft multiple times when I was grinding, you know, and I see that this Tau 152 turns into me, dives away, and I'm like, I don't have to follow him that early, but there are too many targets down there. Yeah, I'm not trying to rip my wings. This is one of the few rules you have to keep in mind, not to rip your wings, you know. And that's, yeah, that was bad shooting. And he rolls, flies through my bullets, and I don't follow him because, you know, let him roll. And the Tau 152 came out of a dive. He has no chance of catching me. Look at this. I'm extending from him while climbing. And this is where I pay the price of my overconfidence. But now the ridiculous part gets. You know what happens when a German aircraft receives this kind of damage? You're done. This one bullet would have ripped off your wing already, or it would have totally destroyed your entire maneuverability. Look at this. Keep in mind, I have a damaged wing on one side in the clipped wing Spitfire, and I still have overall my most maneuverability. Yes, it's badly hurt, you know, and I have a gigantic turning circle compared to if I wouldn't be damaged, but it doesn't matter. It feels like I'm now flying a normal German aircraft, an undamaged German aircraft in terms of maneuverability. This guy tries to run, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I could follow him. Yeah, let's just stay above him. He has nowhere to go. If there wouldn't be his teammates, I would not care, you know. I would just run him down. He can't outrun me. I'm a Griffin Spitfire. The Griffin Spitfires in particular, they are so easy to fly if you know what you're doing. They are practically untouchable. This is my overall experience. And then you ask yourself, what is the reason that German teams win so often? What is the reason that Allied teams lose so much? Well, you have said it yourself, Allied teams, not British teams. Very often, or in most cases, look at this, he has no chance. And then one of my team members comes in. Two of them. Poor guy. Now, most of the cases, you know, when you're flying a Spitfire, you're flying alongside with a lot of American planes as well. And what is the most used American type of plane at this tier? It's a bomber. And even if they have fighters, what do they love? They love to use bombs and rockets, you know. And I can tell you one thing, it doesn't matter which aircraft you use. When you have attached bombs and rockets to an aircraft, it doesn't help your climb rate or your maneuverability. And look at this. One hit, he burns. Yeah, and here you see I am damaged, but he has no chance at all. And at this point, I was just baffled. I saw it from the other side. I flew the Tau 152 myself. I spaded both versions of them, and they're just sickening to fly in terms of response and whatever. And at this point, I don't even care, you know. The D13 has no chance. But the D13 from behind, you know, he had a lot of time to line up the guns, and he needed a full broadside. We lost this battle, but I didn't mind. Yeah, this map is kind of biased towards the Germans, but can you see that? This is pure horror for American teams. Spitfires, information, and climbing on the map. Preparation for the landing on Hokkaido. In the Spitfire FMK 14C. For me, that's like just a Spitfire Mark 9 with a Griffin engine. And I was just like trying to. I have to say, I expected the Americans to spam bombers like crazy. And I actually made myself a list, and little spoiler here, they just had actually one bomber. The rest were side climbing fighters, a lot of them. And we will see how this ends. You know, I was climbing anyway. That's second nature for me. You see the first P-51, and that was a surprise. Ooh, a P-51 side climbing. I was not even trying to really climb at this moment, you know. And look at my altitude without any problems, you know. And I wasn't hanging dead in the air like with German aircraft. German aircraft really, they are really good at climbing as well, but they have no chance against Spitfires. And yeah, my random teammate or squad mate went down because he went into a head-on, was set on fire, and I was preparing to chase down this B-17. And yeah, then I see another P-51 in the clouds there. And that was actually one more than I expected. And you know, the B-17, where can he go, you know? And there is actually nothing left to say. It's just British aircraft are so easy to fly. And in actually this was bad as well because we had one player more, but it wouldn't have impacted the outcome of the battle in any way, you know. And the next thing are the weapons, you know, wing mounted guns and machine guns and low ammunition. It doesn't matter. Those are Hispanos. They hit, and sometimes yeah they spark, you know, and do not damage. They don't do damage at all, and then suddenly you get a pilot snipe out of the blue. But then there are the secondary weapons, so to say, the machine guns, the 7.7s. You have a lot of ammunition for them. You have 4 of them, also wing mounted, but you can use tracers, you know. And this Focke-Wulf 190 will cause another casualty of our team, because this is the second thing. When you throw away all your advantages, you know, this Focke-Wulf, the A8, is one of the worst aircraft for, you know, fighter versus fighter engagements. It is less maneuverable than even some heavy fighters, you know. Yeah, I guess it was designed to replace potential heavy fighters due to the armament and the guns and all that. But it doesn't matter. I give myself the time. Yeah, and that was one single hit and the plane exploded. I see that P-38 in the clouds, and I actually wanted to engage him, but then I see on the radar another dot, and this is another P-51. So at this case, the American team was actually doing exceptionally well, you know, trying to side climb in clouds, you know. And here you can see I had no problems whatsoever engaging this P-51. He had no chance diving away because he's a P-51. Yeah, and then he climbs. That's a deadly mistake. And right in front of my gun. Surely this is my kill, but yeah, and no kill assist. Yeah, dirty kill stealer. Whatever. I don't care. It's, just going to the next match. Maybe I get more kills. It's not about really trying your best. It's just, trying to not die and seeing how many kills you get. As long as you don't go head on with other planes, you have most of your advantages. Sure, Japanese planes are really dangerous and they are, your major opponents, and they really challenge your, your advantages. This is the last player. He was AFK climbing an Avenger, and then he throws himself head on against the Spitfire. This was the Cannon Corsair version. Yeah, this was the last player, and that's it. Out of 3 matches I won 2, and the one I lost was just because I was really not taking it too serious, and we had Norway. If this airfield in the middle of the map wouldn't be there, the Germans would lose much more battles. And ripping your wings at high G's, high speeds, well, in this case I didn't. And there again we have a quite nice, post-battle result screen. I was just 3rd, but still I got 50k silver lions and 5400 RP. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know your opinion about Spitfires and your experience. And thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and hope to see you soon.